If you're a software engineer and if you're applying for jobs, then this video is for you. So I will share with you 8 different pieces of advice that I have. I recently helped at one of my consultancy projects. I helped with interviewing candidates, and I looked at different CVs and that were sent in for one position there. And I've been working as a software engineer for more than 10 years. And I worked at a lot of different companies. I have applied for different jobs and different consultancy projects. I have also helped in several of them with interviewing candidates. So I have some experience with it. And recently I helped again with interviewing and looking at CVs. I will share some advice. My first piece of advice is to actually put effort into your job application process with writing your CV and cover letter and with finding different open positions and then to send in and doing all this stuff. Treat it as a job. So spend 8 hours per day with this application. So like, if you're not doing anything else, like what else should you do? So actually put effort into it and not just like a few minutes here and there, but actually like treat it as a job and spend a lot of time on applying to a lot of places. And also when you're applying, don't just send in the same thing over and over again. So like read text about the open position and write text yourself and like see how does this fit me and like adjust your resume and cover letter to suit this position. So that's my first advice. My second advice is to actually include a cover letter. So when I was looking at people who have applied this time, and then there were several ones who did not have any cover letter. And yeah, sure, you can do just your resume if it's strong, I suppose, but it helps you if you have a cover letter as well, where you describe a bit about yourself and why are you applying, what value can you provide, and why did you find the position interesting. So like tell a bit about yourself and like what value you bring. You should sell yourself and make me, who is looking at the cover letter and your CV, a bit interested in you. So you need to like try to look it from the company's point of view. Like will they be able to understand who am I and what value can I bring? You need to try to see it from their point of view when they are reading the CV. Will they understand what I know? So when I looked at like cover letters and CVs, sometimes it was like too little text, or it was a bit difficult to understand, or too many like buzzwords I was not familiar with, or so you need to, from my point of view, the one who will read it, try to see it from that side instead. And my third piece of advice is to sell yourself. I remember one instance. It was somebody who actually wrote a cover letter, but it was so weak. It was kind of, I have been unemployed for so long and I wish I could work. Please give me a job. You need to have a bit more confidence and sell your skills. It's not just begging for a job. You actually need to be a bit more bold, and here is what I can provide, and I would love to work, and I see your company and you are doing this. It sounds very interesting. So be a bit more positive and not this negative and it's so poor and I'm so sad. Please give me something. Be a bit more positive and show what you can do. My fourth piece of advice, that's to actually not AI generate your stuff. So fill it with your own text. So maybe you can get some help or inspiration with using some AI like ChatGPT. But I wouldn't like just copy the whole advertisement, put it in ChatGPT and ask it to generate a cover letter. Sure, it will save you a lot of time, but I think it's better if you actually read it yourself and think and write yourself with the cover letter. You can reuse a lot of it from different applications. I guess you have like general things about yourself, but then write a paragraph yourself about why you are applying to this specific position. Otherwise, like me, who is looking at these cover letters that are coming in, it's so obvious when they are AI generated with the language that's used, and they look similar from different people who are applying. From the company side, it's quite obvious when it's AI generated, and then the credibility goes down automatically. So I think it's much better if you actually put in the effort yourself and do a little bit of thinking. I think that will help you. And as I said, if you're going to spend 8 hours per every day doing this, then you might put some time into doing it yourself. And then advice number 5, so be open-minded when you're looking for jobs. Don't just have something super specific that you have to do. I think you should be looking broadly and be open-minded. Apply to a lot of different things, even if it's not something that sounds fun. If you get an interview, so that's great training to just go through an interview process. So that's just great. And like in the worst case, you're like get a job offer, but you can always decline. So it doesn't hurt to apply. You can always decline if it doesn't sound fun. If you get an interview and it sounds fun, then it was just great. You were convinced, and here is something fun. It didn't look so fun from the beginning, but actually you found something great. So it never hurts to apply for things. It takes a little bit of time, but it's a numbers game in the end, so you need to apply to a lot of things. So I think you should be open-minded. Number 6, so that's to apply even if like if you read the description of the job and they have a lot of requirements, what skills you need to have, but I think a lot you can learn at the workplace when you're actually hired. And so like my rule of thumb is like if 50% of the things, if that's the skills I have, then I would apply if it sounds fun. So I think it's like impossible to find a position where you know everything, but also you want to learn something new as well at the workplace. So if you know some things, but there are like a gap of other things that you are interested in learning, I think that's just great. And you can just tell in the cover letter that, I know these things, and these other things, they sound very interesting, and that's something I want to learn. And I think for the company's side of view, it's just something positive that here is somebody who is eager to learn and already knows some things. So I think that's just a positive. And with these job descriptions, it's often so often that they're super specific, and you're supposed to know like everything, and it sounds almost like you're gonna be like working for 5 different positions at the same time. It's not just like a full stack, but you're gonna be a database admin and a tester and doing all sorts of things. So it's kind of like impossible to fulfill all requirements that they put in the job advertisement. So don't like read too much into it. You can apply anyways, and in the worst case, you don't get any reply, or they decline. But you never know how many other people who are applying. So it doesn't hurt to apply. Then number 7, it's a small one. It's to like fix all spelling mistakes in your cover letter and CV. So if you're gonna send it to hundreds of companies, then maybe proofread your cover letter and resume before, so there are not like obvious spelling mistakes. You can just take the text and put it into ChatGPT and ask it to tell me what are the spelling mistakes, and you wouldn't get it fixed so easily. So it's kind of lazy and a bit of a red flag when it's so like obviously wrong. So spend that little bit of effort before you're sending it to so many companies. And then number 8, that's to be structured when you're applying. Make a spreadsheet, and each time when you're applying, write something there and a status. Where are you in the process? And maybe keep a folder on your computer where you have all your cover letters. So that's what I've done in the past when I've applied for jobs. So as I said, I would write it myself and then adjust like maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs depending on the job I applied to, and then keep some text. And I would have a folder, and with each time I've written a cover letter, I put it in the folder. And then when I'm applying for something new, and maybe this job sounds similar to something else I applied for before, then I can take that text and adjust it a little bit and then send it again. So I customize it for each company I send it to. But I'm structured, and with the spreadsheet each time I've applied, and I keep the text I've sent. So it's easy to just copy and paste and adjust. And also this with the spreadsheet, you will have to apply a lot, especially in this poor market when it's quite bad. And I think always the case. But so you need to think that maybe there's maybe like a 1% chance that you will get a job that you apply for. So then you need to apply for like 100 positions. So you need to think like it's a numbers game and apply a lot. So keep it as treat it as a job, and then apply a lot. And like 5 per month or 10 per month or something. That's quite a low number. I think daily you should be sending out, applying for different jobs. So you need to think bigger, and but also, like as I said before, don't AI generate it to just produce a big volume. You need to do it yourself, and by yourself produce a big volume of applying for different jobs. So, and just a little bit about the position I helped with. So it was a full stack position. It was in C# with Blazor, and the person would work quite alone and do different tasks with the interface and backend and .NET with SQL Server and stuff like that. Something I have worked a lot with in the past, but I've also done a lot as a full stack developer, and I've done mobile app development and embedded and desktop applications and Linux and different a lot of different things I worked with. So that's a little bit of my background. So that was a little bit about this position and what I've done in my past and my background. So that was everything for today. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below, and might make a follow-up video if this is a topic that interests you and I can add more information. So if you have any questions, I might make a new video about it, and we will see each other another time. Bye-bye. And some bonus advice. So people, me included, I spent 5 years at the university studying software engineering, and I got a master in it. So like many people, they spend like maybe 3 or 5 years at the university. It's a huge time investment, but then they're too lazy when they're actually applying to like spend like 5 minutes on an application. So it's just this like a weirdly distribution of time. You spend so much time learning software engineering, but then when it's actually about like selling yourself and applying, then you suddenly don't have any patience and or too lazy. So like you need to think like you have this learning process, but then also like selling yourself. It needs to like more evenly match. So I think it's worth spending a lot of time on your CV. So if it sounds like a lot with working 8 hours per day with working on your CV, but that's kind of what you did already for 5 years when you studied software engineering. So you just kind of need to be prepared to put a bit of effort into it, even if it sounds like a lot. But actually studying and learning software engineering, that's also a lot of time. So I think it's worth spending this time to make sell yourself, market yourself, and advertise yourself. That's the cover letter and the resume, and that's like how you present and market yourself. So I think that's worth some time investment. So that was the bonus advice. Bye bye.